Previously on
Mochi making terrible life decisions.
I was not really happy with my face angles, so I redid them. If I'm being honest here, I probably should have put more effort into the hair. I was really lazy. Remember kids, you gotta always pay attention. So we're basically back to doing this again. So last time I had to do the body and everything, but then I had to shift around my warp deformers and everything, and I had to change how I rigged the Y or whatever, because after reordering everything, because I previously rigged the Y separately for the outfits, but then I combined it into this one warp deformer so I can do breathing animations or whatever, and also the whole body is Y. And what it did was it shifted the things down more than it should and shifted it up more than it should. So I had to go back and edit that, which was annoying, but it's a lesson for next time. Also, I had to edit, make a body Z. Why? Because I tested it out in VTuber Studio a little bit ago, and she just doesn't look right without the body Z. So yeah, you'll see me struggling with my layers, editing, and pretty much it's not great. That's all I gotta say, really. But it was a lot of going back, re-editing, yada yada. But honestly, it was useful that I rigged the full base before the clothes, because then I could use that base as a guide for my clothes, you know? And it made doing this a lot quicker. Oh yeah, and then I had to start rigging the second outfit, which I screwed up. I should have merged the line art layer with the coloring layer, and you'll see me fiddle around with the line art a lot, trying to figure out how do I make this thing work. I could have used glue, but for some reason I didn't. And I feel if I used glue, and plus the liner, it's for the entire thing. It's not just for one part, because I have the shirt split up into the chest area and then just the upper torso. So, and the liner is the whole thing, including the chest, so if I just glued it to the torso, it wouldn't have worked. So after getting so frustrated with the line art, I pretty much deleted it, okay, you know what, we don't need it. Maybe they won't notice. And you know what, it looks fine. It looks fine without the line art, I think. Maybe. It was kind of fun. I say kind of fun because there were some parts of it that were annoying, but that's fine. I feel the most fun part about it was definitely doing physics. Physics is always fun, but I really hate having to animate the keyframes for it, because I'm not great at animating. They'll look janky. Like I said, Theta physics? Yeah, that's pretty much the vibes we're getting here. I really do love the Y physics of the jacket though, how the sleeves just go up when you go down a little. It's nice, okay? But yeah. So I did do a lot, and initially I thought about splitting up this video into part 3 and part 4, but then I decided, you know what, this is all the work I did for this day, there's no point in trying to split it up. I did a lot this week. So this is going to be the finale for season 1, but don't worry, my Live2d suffering isn't going to be over yet. We're going to milk this Live2d trial for all it's worth. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, so you'll see me trying to rig the body stuff for the jacket arms, and because I had the arms move, it's really annoying. And especially when it moves with the Z, it kept getting deformed in weird spots that I didn't want it to be deformed, and it was ugh. The mermaid, because that's what happened, because she has the transparent arm sleeves, and I kept messing with that, and they kept getting messed up during the Z movement, so yeah. There was a lot of me trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. But anyways, back to outfit 2. Physics. So that was fun. Like, it's so satisfying to just see it like move like that while like I'm bouncing my model around and everything. So it's like, yeah. Though the annoying thing was like, I had to like figure out how to like, I had to reflect the pant string and it wouldn't reflect in place for some reason. Like it just reflected really weirdly. And you're gonna see that a lot this episode. Things are just reflecting weirdly and not in place. And I'm not a huge fan of that. It makes me want to die. Oh yeah, you'll see me rigging the shoes. The shoes just get deformed so much, which is unrealistic as heck, just because of how I drew the feet. I should have drawn her more pigeon-toed. Don't worry, I fixed that mistake with the model. Oh yeah, now we're getting to rigging the mermaid outfit. And as you can see, I redid it because yeah. I think I like rigged it earlier, like last episode or something, but then, well, at least the top, but then I didn't like how it ended up. And I also re-rigged the entire body, so like, I had to fix it. But I was like slowly getting the hang of Live2d, and you know what? Even if rigging is painful, I found it fun. So I'm gonna be really sad when my Live2d trial expires, because I do like making VTubers even if it's suffering. But I think one day when I get a bigger following and I can, like, I don't know, makes a lot of money, I think I would actually pay for the Live2d. I think it's like $90 a year, and I don't have that kind of money, unfortunately. So pretty much here, like, you know, rigging the mermaid because I finished rigging the other outfits. I remember last episode, I tried to rig everything at once, and that just didn't work out for me, so it was probably much better that I just focused on rigging, like, one outfit at a time and everything. I'm making another VTuber model. It's, like, by the time the short would have been, like, released last week or something. So, yeah. Oh, and now you'll see me trying to deform the tail for physics. I should have drawn the tail more straight. But I didn't. I didn't think of that at all. So I was deforming like parts of the tail that were, by the way, really curvy. And it was painful. The tail looks really janky when you sway it to like the right or something. Like I tried to make this work, okay, but it wasn't gonna like work that easily. But it's fine, you only see the tail at those positions for like a split second, and then it just bounces back to like the default position, so maybe it's fine. I would have wanted to do a tail animation, but I was lazy. Yeah, that's about it. I was just lazy, guys. So we went tail physics, so it kind of like bounced around like some fish. A lot of my friends that I shared this with, they're like, oh, that bounces like a fishy. I mean, she is a fishy, so it's perfect.
The next day.
So, the next day, I was pretty much trying to rig in the toggles and everything because, you know, all that. I had to work on animated crying that day. I used a tutorial from Yoshino Art, and I will link that in the description. The crying animation actually was a bitch to work on, if I'm being honest here. So I had the tiers separated. Like, I had the top tier, I had the bottom tier. But, you know, I was working on one side at first because, you know, it took a lot of trying to, like, figure things out. And I was not having a blast trying to figure this out. It was frustrating, I will tell you that. But, you know what? As long as I got it figured out. However, here's where things went wrong. So, you'll probably see this later in the clip, but when I had to reflect this because, you know, you gotta work smarter, not harder, you know? You draw a perfectly front view model with a symmetry ruler, and then you flip everything, so you don't have to rig everything twice. So as you can see here, when I had to like reflect it, I screwed up the reflecting at first because I clearly didn't know how what parameter to reflect. So then I had to re-reflect everything again. And the tear reflected severely wrong. So then I had to fix it. Like, it didn't reflect to the other eye, like it reflected, but then I had to drag it over. So for every single keyframe, I had to drag that bitch over. And it was like, seriously? You're really doing this to me? Why? Oh yeah, I also messed up with the crying animation, so I had to pretty much redo that. But that wasn't too hard because when I fixed the crying loop, I just had to edit a few keyframes, you know? But it was nice learning how to do the animations. Oh yeah, and then that day I was working on toggles. Yep. Because I finished rigging all the outfits, but I needed to do the toggles so I knew what to like enable and everything. And you'll probably see me go back into Live2d and also vTuber Studio too. And I would be like, sometimes the toggles showed up when they shouldn't be, so I had to fix that. So that was a lot of going back and trying to play a game of what did I do wrong? But you know what? That's fine. It's absolutely fine. So that day was like a lot of like cleaning up because should be ready to like ship or something. Oh yeah, and here I'm in vTuber Studio creating doing the crying animation and everything. I was creating like a new expression. After I saw that you could do expressions in vTuber Studio, I was like, we're not doing Live2d for this. I've had enough of her. So pretty much, I'm making like the crying animation and I'm like testing it out and then all this. I would make more expressions, but I find that I probably wouldn't use these expressions as much. Like I wouldn't use expression toggles at all. Like I don't know, man. But I just put them in anyways, you know. Though for the next model, I'll probably try harder with the expression toggles. I really just wanted to get this bitch shipped out. Oh yeah, the hotkeys were hard to for me to figure out because I was like, what do I do? Oh yeah, I just saw that I could do the gesture triggers. I don't trust myself to do that. I'm not... Now the whole point of me having a VTuber is just so I don't really show my face, which I feel like is very counterintuitive. Because it's like, why wouldn't you want to show your face? You know? I don't consider myself a true VTuber since, you know, I'm not like this character expressive. This is just basically myself. But that's fine. That's fine, I guess, you know? It was still really fun trying to do this, you know? So you'll see me like screwing around with this, messing around with vTuber Studios. I had to mess with vTuber Studio a lot to like figure out what I'm even like doing. Oh yeah, and it was Yoshino's arts tutorial. Like, for tutorials next to Chupaco's, they're really good. I'll definitely link some. You'll see me like messing around with it further. And now I'm making like toggles for like, you know, the different outfits. Of course, like, you know, I struggled. I always did. But I mean, hey, it's fine, you know? But pretty much, toggles, figuring all that out, and then, like, you know, doing the blush, because I did have a blush thing. Not for when I'm smiling, just, I don't know, just hearts, because it's cute, you know? I was definitely struggling on figuring out, like, my toggle combinations, and I was, like, testing it out a lot while I was, like, I want something that, like, while I'm typing or something, it doesn't, like, randomly activate, like, the toggle. So I had to be, like, careful about that, I guess. So I changed the key combinations a lot. Eventually, I did figure out a good combination, but, well, a decent one, but yeah. Oh yeah, and also I had to go back and like fix some of the expressions because I was like, oh wait, gotta fix the hair, you know? Gotta make sure. And also for my main outfit, I forgot to like put on her shoes or something. So I had to go back and fix that too, you know? Absolute nightmare, I guess. Not really, but I'm being overdramatic here. But I will say, it definitely was a journey. It was nice seeing all this come together. It was an experience, and I could officially say I've done everything as an artist, pretty much. I feel like this is like the final boss for a lot of artists, you know? Like, you would think it's easy, but it's not. Like, I have to cut up my art, which it makes the process like 10 times longer, literally. Because, like I said, for something like just a full body render that's simple like this, it would have taken me like hour and a half to like 2 hours. Because I'm not doing like my normal rendering lighting effects. But then, like, you know, you have to cut up the stuff, and I couldn't just leave the cut up pieces like as is because I have to think about like what it would look like from behind, if that makes sense. So I had to add shading and do some more painting type stuff for like the parts that overlap and whatnot. So that took longer. And also layers. Just so many layers. My app kept crashing, okay? So currently I draw on my brother's iPad, and keep in mind it's a Generation 6, which as of the time of recording this is like the latest generation. And it's a really good iPad, okay? It's better than mine. My potato iPad would probably blow up if I tried to do this. Okay, yeah, so here you'll see me trying to like mess around with like the VTube Studio stuff. I did not know how to set this up. I was like, why is there this annoying moving thing? Why is there that stupid little purple girl? Which I learned that it's a watermark. Oh yeah, here you'll see me try to do the tracking lost sleeping animation, you know? Does it look great? No, not really, but it's there, you know? I think for my future model, I will make it look better for any future. Yeah. And you'll see a video of me testing it too. She'll spaz out so much, but it's fine. I didn't record this, and I should have, but off camera I was messing around with my VTube tracking settings and everything to make sure everything looks great and like perfectly normal and not like she's drunk, you know? My webcam is actually not the best. I want to get a better webcam, but like, you know, you gotta work with what you have, you know? Just like how I need to get a better mic. But again, I have to work with what I have. One day, guys. One day. By the way, if you're enjoying this, I just want to take a moment to say, why don't you subscribe and everything? You know, I post art content. Just right now, I'm just milking the living shit out of Live2d, so it's gonna be Live2d content for now. But if you're interested in like a lot of the art stuff I do, then yeah, consider subscribing. My suffering is entertaining. I promise. But yeah, back to like this. I was trying to figure out how to do the breathing, like how to time it right, because that's usually really difficult. But I think I did okay. Maybe I could do better. But this is my first model, so I guess I shouldn't expect it to be like good. I mean, like, have you seen the face angles at the extremes? Like, shit, that thing looks deformed as hell. But you know what? It's not that bad. She looks fine. She doesn't look that scuffed. And the physics, having the limitations, kind of fixed it. So we're fine. I feel like the facial angles, they were the main motivation killer. Like, just seeing how terrible they ended up, I wanted to give up. But I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I eventually pushed through and did something that I'm satisfied with, you know? So yeah, it's great. So yeah, more working on this animation, figuring out keyframes, and she looks fine, maybe. I don't even know anymore. And yeah, I feel like after that point she was kind of done rigging wise, so next was kind of working on the parameters, the tracking, and like, you know, just doing all that. Oh yeah, and setting up like the idle animation when the tracking was lost. So here you'll see me test it out. She's gonna jolt from all over the place because I'm trying to like test it out and everything. Because I was like, how do I do tracking loss? Yeah, so here I left the area. I literally just walked around the upstairs and everything of my house and just was like, okay, this is definitely gonna lose my tracking because I'm not even sitting in front of the webcam, you know? And then, yeah, I come back and then she's just jolting everywhere. And you see how it's funny. It's absolutely hilarious just seeing her just go all over the place like that. I think, like, did I activate my movement config? And in this, I don't remember. I did remember like disabling it because I didn't like how the model was just going back and forth and all over the place. I wanted it to be more still. But then I realized, oh crap, this looks a little too stiff. So I allowed for some X and Y, but definitely no Z, because that makes you go back and forth and that's just annoying. I don't know, what triggers me is that like the eyes, like I'm like blinking both eyes, but sometimes it'll only like close one eye. And I think it's because I'm wearing glasses. So yeah. Oh yeah, here's some of me testing out the toggles and everything. Cause yep, you gotta make sure everything's working, you know. Anyways, by the time this video is posted, I believe I'll be like on actual vacation or something, so this is kinda like pre-recorded. So, oh yeah. I will be making my debut as a VTuber for this, I guess. Quote-unquote VTuber. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed this series and look forward to season 2 where I try to rig a VTuber model for one of my OCs or muses.